Welcome, my friends, to this podcast about all yarny and knitting things. My name is Doug, and I'm coming to you from Albuquerque in New Mexico. And today I wanted to officially wrap up the UFO Mania Make Along 2025. It went from January 1st to April to the end of April 2025. And of course, 2025. And of course, because it was highly likely that somebody would win who was in Germany. And so I brought two skeins of yarn to Germany to give away. And also we had two German yarn dyers who sponsored the make along with skeins of yarn. And indeed, our four winners were all German, and three of them also do have a podcast. How likely is that, right? So we had the donated skein of yarn by Birgit of Mabibu Yarn that went to Steffi of Peacock Garn, who has a podcast, and then Vera of Liebe Wolle. Her skein went to Betty Strick Podcast, and my skein Desert Candy went to Susanne, Orient Bayerin Podcast, and my other skein Zero Sandia went to Maren of her handle is My Little Cabinet. But you guys, I thought let's give away one more skein, and it's so funny, you're gonna laugh because I didn't check a suitcase this time around. I thought, well, it's just me, I'm not gonna bring a lot of stuff, so save some money. Hold on. So I had specifically brought this beauty, dyed it specifically for the giveaway and forgot it here because my suitcase was full. Go figure. And this one, it's so beautiful, super soft and kind of really muted. The color is muted because the base color is this grayish brownish color. And so this is a lucky one of a kind, and the fiber content is 42 baby alpaca, 13 extra fine merino. Sorry, I'm trying to read this without my glasses. Oh, dang, I was about to cuss. Sorry. I'm not gonna say any bad words here, so whatever. 19% yak. I read 29, and I knew it couldn't be true because there's also silk in this, 35%. And this is a 50-gram skein with 437 yards. Really pretty petrol color. Okay, let's do the giveaway. I have wrote down English. Hello, lady. I have lived in the States for 27 years now. I should be able to do a little better. Okay, enough of that. So we had 48 entries in the giveaway thread on the finished object, for the finished objects, and we had so much fun. Yes, it was great. And of course the first entry was mine, so now I'm gonna draw the winner for this beauty. I usually do it with random number generator, either on my phone, or in this case, because I'm recording with my phone, I'm gonna do it with my iPad. Pick a random number between 2 and 48.
A random number between 2 and 48 is 44.
Okay, let's see what this is. Let's open my iPad. Come on. You know, I don't know why my fingers. So 44 is Mary Lou, who made a bag. Mary Lou 97 on Ravelry. Sorry for the glare on the iPad. So congratulations. And sure enough, another person in Germany won. And so I'm going to contact you and send you a message to get in touch with me so I can send you your skein of yarn. And I hope you're going to love it. Your name is Mary. That's interesting. Now, what's the connection with English, with your name being Mary? And yeah, you also have a quote of Elizabeth Zimmerman. That's interesting. Well, I'm going to be in touch. Okay. So this was the wrap up. Congratulations to all of you winners. And what next? Let me rearrange. I would like to. Alrighty. I keep looking out because I hear the hummingbirds. You may hear them as well. They go like a high pitching sound with their fast wing flaps. It's so cool. If you're not familiar with that, and the door is open and only the screen door, and I have 2 feeders out there that they finally visit because I only filled them after I got back from Germany. That was about a week ago or so. Yes. So what has happened? I have finished my Moab shawl. The Moab shawl has been with me for a few months, and it's a pattern by Very Busy Monkey, and I love the shape. And I really sped up my knitting because I thought, well, if I get it done on time, I may want to bring it to Germany, kind of as something to wrap up with when it gets chilly. But in the end, because I was restricted with my luggage, I left it at home. And initially I thought, great idea, because after I was there for a few days, it got hot. But then it got cold again. So the last week was really chilly, and I would have loved to have it. But whatever, I did not. But and I had blocked it, and it was completely finished. And I hope that you can see how big it is. I have used I have to say the pattern is written for fingering yarn, and I have used Ziawo's Decay Desert Candy Super Duper Soft, which is a sport weight yarn. And the colorway is the Lover. So you can see this is from hand to hand, and I still have this much. So what happened with this is that and I've talked about this at length, but you do need to know that the edging would look very different had I listened to the designer. Hello. That's why they're writing stuff down in the pattern. Like, I should have had a lot more yarn left over to be able to finish to do the full edge as it in the pattern in the chart as it's written. I did not, but I think it really looks great. It turned out great. So I did my own version, and in the end I just added the 2 rows of pearl garter stitches, and that's totally fine. I really think that the shape is great because it's so big. I mean, long in terms of wrapping yourself up with the long ends, but it's not so deep as in going down in the middle, which I love. So let's see. I don't even think I ever put it around myself. I decided to not bring it to Germany and put it in a bin here where it says podcast. And that's what I did. And that's where it's been ever since. So look at that. So I could probably, even without tying it in the back, bring it to the front and tie it here. But well, let's see how it looks the other way around or like sideways. It's a lot of fabric, and this yarn is so incredibly soft and luxurious. You may know that base. It's if at least if you're local to me, I've talked about this so much, and just because it's so snuggly, yeah, I love it, and I'm sure I'm gonna look at her patterns again and hopefully maybe do another shawl with fingering weight yarn just because of that great shape. Yeah. Moab shawl by Very Busy Monkey. So, what next? I have finished in Germany another pair of Duke City mitts. Those were meant as a gift to my friend who lives there, who loves those for running. Even though I sent them to him and he called me and he said, oh, thank you so much. They're the nicest gift ever. And nobody has ever done anything like that for me. Like, what? No. But you're so sweet to say that. But he said, I don't even know if I should wear them for running. I'm like, yes, you should. If that's what you like for running, you should. Let me grab the yarn that I used. And then since I don't have them anymore, I'm going to put in some pictures for you in a second. Here's the yarn. I'm telling you, husbands, he had been sneaking up on me and I did not realize it because I was petting the yarn. And by the time I looked up and realized it, he was just standing there grinning, staring at me. And I'm like, I'm going to leave you in the podcast. And he said, no, you got to cut me out. You got to cut me out. He's a very private person. Yes. So back to what we were talking about. Let me grab that yarn and hopefully I can figure out where I was. So I finished the mitts for my friend Martin with this yarn that I had gotten from the D-stash of my knitting guild. And the yarn is Dragonfly Fibers, Traveler. It should be a worsted weight yarn with 4 ounces and 280 yards. Really great neutral grayish black, and that's probably, well, let me tell you, I used I think 56 grams or so. So I'm going to have enough for another pair of Dukes in a smaller size. But the funny thing is, yes, I used 56 are leftover. So I've used about 58 grams or so. Yeah. And the funny thing is that I was thinking, it's okay, because I'm always grumping when Fiona asks me for something black, knitted in black, and I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. But this one wasn't too bad. And then once I started thinking about it, I thought, well, you know, I'm not gonna argue with a color like this when it's a tiny project that is very manageable. And I even, on this one, I even knitted a lot in the evenings or at night. Yeah, so it was okay. Yeah, so we have these covered, and then I finished 2 more items while I was in Germany. One of them, my gosh, you know me and my like super limited notes that my secretary keeps, you know. So my secretary did this, hold on. And if you recognize this stitch pattern, yes, this is from my Desert Dancer hat pattern that I wrote. I think it's been almost 2 years. 2 years ago that I wrote that. And I have also written a pattern for wrist warmers. So I don't even think I ever put that up on Ravelry. So I need to find it where it is, but it was supposed to be a free giveaway pattern where I taught a small class at the retreat in Winslow where I showed folks how to easily do those mini cables where you just twist 2 stitches. You don't want to use a cable needle because it would make you cuckoo. So what is here in the back? I did not even see these notes. 6 by 6 minus 2 by 6, 1 times 6, 2 times 6, 1 times 6. What the dot, dot, dot. I don't know what I did here. Well, it all started with this. It started with this. This was the first with the dark blue thumb. I wanted to write up this pattern, and but there was a problem, not just these crappy notes. So what I did eventually, I stuck it in a bag and I abandoned it. And I thought, well, let's see if I'm in the mood to come back to it at some point or what I'm going to do. But I thought I'm being smart, or at least when I found it, I thought I had been smart because I wrote down 3.5 millimeter needles, this yarn, 42 stitches. Okay, that's how I started off. When I did pick it up again, because I took this project to Germany, and I thought, okay, let's do this. At least knit the second one, which I did, even wove in the ends. However, and you cannot see this anymore, what happened and what's really confusing to me is that the second one turned out a lot smaller than this. Do you hear this? I wonder if our plumber is here and working on the swamp coolers. I don't know. Strange. Whatever. So, but the second one turned out smaller, and I have washed it and kind of like blocked, stretched it. Just, that's why I washed it. Otherwise I wouldn't have, because I knew these were going to be for me. And here you can see, and this was my intent also when writing the pattern, to have one thumb in one color and one thumb in the other color. Here it looks like it's striped, but it's not. It's just the variation of the yarn that makes it look that way. But I'm going to tell you now why this did not work out, or why I don't think it would be a good pattern. There is one big problem, which is actually not so much the look of this, because I think it looks really cute and I managed to write it so there's a right one and a left one, where the stripes are on the inside and the pattern is on the outside. But what happens when you knit it this way, because you're working with slip stitches here, it pulls together, and you can see that up here. I did the wrist full on in pattern, a section in the pattern all the way around, but not up here, because I thought it would be fun to have the stripes on the inside and the pattern on the outside. But you can even see that I made them shorter than I normally like my fingerless mitts, because of that problem, because it would have been even more visible had I gone like 3 pattern sections further or so. Which is a bummer, because I think they do look really cute, but I am gonna abandon the project pattern for these, unfortunately. I'm still gonna be happily wearing these myself. I, by the way, do not know what the yarn was. I didn't even bring it because I don't know what the yarn was. I just grabbed some leftovers to, for that first version. Yeah. And the multicolored yarn was a very, very, very old dyed by me yarn. Cute. And I do believe that everything has some alpaca content. So that was this. And then bam, let's have more color, because I made myself another pair of what I call Dickerchen double knit socks. These are for myself, and I love these. I have only one pair so far, which is kind of short, and I thought, well, let's make the leg a little bit longer for these. I should show you the one that I put on a sock blocker. Yeah, nothing much to say. My mom was a sock knitter. I still have a lot of sock yarn leftovers. I grabbed all kinds of bright colors to make these for myself with and I held 2 yarns, 2 strands together. I worked with 3.5 millimeter needles, 12 stitches per DPN, and no magic. It's just a standard sock. Yeah, excited that I got them done. And then what else? I think that's it for the finished objects. I have works in progress, and you may remember this. And I feel like, oh my God, who am I? I have been monogamously working on this. And the 3 other projects that I just showed you, those were the ones that I finished in Germany. And I don't think I even picked this up. Neither did I touch my other lace shawl, because I was either meeting up with friends, or I was so tired that I didn't knit much, or I journaled at night, or I wrote a letter to my pen pal. But actually, I have 2 pen pals, 3 pen, yeah, two holding up 3 fingers, 3 pen pals that I managed to write to from Germany. One that I had planned to write to, but I didn't get around to, but whatever, not important for you guys. But that's why I ended up not really working on this in Germany, but I grabbed it on the flight back, so it has grown quite a bit. And let me put the pattern aside and grab the yarn label because it fell. So the yarn I'm using, I also got at my guild, D-Stash, and because my friend Nancy got the same yarn in a different colorway. I can't recall what hers is calling. Mine is eucalyptus, and she has a bluish shade, and so hold on. Trying to be organized. And so yeah, we decided to have our little knit along with these yarns and make this shawl. Like I said, she's using the bluish shade and I'm using the greenish shade. And I'm really, right now, I'm so, no, strike that from record. Not right now. Like from the get-go, I've been loving this pattern. It is very, very well written. It starts with different charts to let the lace pattern expand in size. And it's all written out as well as, look at that. That was a gift from my friend Melody. And then it just gets wider and wider until you get to that part where you grow this stockinette section. That's where I am right now. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. And I feel like, hey, I am so monogamous right now. It's really scary. It's like when I'm down to 12 pens or 15 pens that I have inked. I know all the writers out there can relate. If you love ink, you gotta have a nice selection of pens inked. So I'm about to go out of town next week, so I'm definitely taking this, and because I'm nicely in the flow, so I thought I don't want to bring that whole stack of the pattern, the sheets, and because I'm good in the pattern right now that I don't need much to figure it out. I can figure out the lace section. Everything else I got down and it's easy. But what I did was I actually shrunk the lace section to that part that I need instructions for and laminated that one in a small version. But bam, love it. Perfect for my trip. And I have it in a very deserty project bag that I have made a while ago. I really like this one because this has the gamble quail on it and I love the colors. It has this on the back. This is my shawl size bag. Yes. So I'm upstairs in my daughter's room and usually I'm sitting on the sofa, but I thought, okay, today I'm just gonna bring the 2 bins that I had in front of me downstairs, and I decided to sit on the chair, and this is actually working out great because now I have that table next to me to put stuff down on. Yeah, but that's not important. What else am I knitting on? Of course, I need a small project. Also, that's, you just do. So I had taken these socks to Germany. I felt like, oh, I want to make a pair of cotton socks, cotton sock yarn socks, shorty socks. Socks, yes, cotton, yes. And they are, sorry, the yarn is stuck. I went to the cotton merino commercial sock yarn box. Sounds huge, but no, it's actually my smallest stash box that I'm keeping. But I found this colorway. I found 2 little balls. I don't even remember if I weighed those. I don't think I did. I just started knitting because I have enough yarn, and I thought, well, if I run out, I will, if I run out, I'm just gonna find something else to add. And so this is where I am with the first one. What I did was I just did a rib, and I do 4 times 16 stitches on my DPNs. I knit the first round, and then I do either 2 by 2 or 1 by 1. In this case, I did 1 by 1, and then I immediately started the heel. I am with this down to a mini ball. It's under the bin there in front of me. Whatever, it's not important. But then I started 2.5 millimeter needles. I thought, well, I didn't want to use this to finish this sock if I needed to add another yarn. So I thought, what I'm going to do, I have plenty of sock yarn, needles. I mean, sock, but the 2.5 millimeters, you know what I mean. So I thought, I'm just going to start the second pair. And that's what I did. And this is where I am. Got to keep going. So every day I try to knit about 10 rounds or so. And if you wonder, what the heck does she have here? This is the way I keep my DPNs. When they're not in use, they're bundled with a this elastic, and I have the size written on here. Because we are not like Meryl Streep. Somebody sent me the reel on Instagram this morning. Oh yes, it was Karen from Phoenix. Now I remember. And she's like, so famous knitters like Julia Roberts and more. And one of them was Meryl Streep. And she's like, she shows her box with the straight knitting needles. I'm not making fun of that at all. I just love everybody. You do you, okay? But then she showed her knitting needles, and she smiles and she says, I have needles in every size. And I'm like, lady, you have no idea. And yes, because this is 2.5 millimeters. You have no clue how many 2.5 millimeter sets of DPNs I have. No, you don't. I was just thinking, because I have at least 5 sock UFOs, and I still have plenty of sock yarn needles, 2.5 millimeters. That's just the way it is. You gotta own it, right? So that was my knitting. Is anything else here in this box? What is that? There's something else. Hold on. Oh, well, no, it's nothing else. I thought it might be, but this is actually the bag that I brought the yarn for my double knit socks in, that I used for those, for that sock project. And I added some tiny bits and bobs in case I run out. But I don't think I used any of these. The contrary, maybe I had left this one or so. And here's the needles. Yes, another one of my bags with these armadillos, which I love. And that reminds me, I have filmed the rug hooking episode. However, I cannot for the life of me find the name of that designer that gifted me the Armadillo, Texas rug hooking pattern. And I'm trying to find out who that was. I know I have written down, I must have kept her card somewhere. Because she sent the pattern to me after I contacted her. I wanted to buy that pattern. Okay, all of that I will maybe talk about in the rug hooking podcast, maybe not, but whatever. I'm trying to find the name of the designer, and then I will publish the episode about rug hooking. Okay, I have done some spinning, and it's kind of funny because I have purchased some braids from my local a local hand dyeing company that's fairly new. I'm talking about Mad Dye Works. This is Debbie and Marie, and I think I can safely say their specialty is fibers for spinning. I wanted to support them, and I bought a bunch of braids from them, and this is the one that I am about to spin. This is half of it, half of these 4 ounces of Romney and Corriedale. And that's what's going to go on the wheel next. And you saw the wheel standing behind me when I was still downstairs. But I brought the skein that I have already spun. I thought jet lag and spinning are going to go well together. It's so funny because I just watched my friend Marina in New Zealand, who is just crazy about spinning, and it put a giant smile on my face because when she talked about spinning, because she said it's just so peaceful to spin. And yes, she is so right. It puts you in the zone. It's good to take care of jet lag. And so I grabbed a braid by Mad Dye Works of Romney, Suffolk. And I have never spun Suffolk. I know Romney from a fiber dyer in Maryland. I used to buy from her, but not a blend like this. And I have washed this. I usually spin 2-ply, and I plan to use this for Duke City mitts for the Duke Mania in the fall of this year. Yeah, the yarn turned out really nice, and if you notice, maybe you noticed that I purposely spun this a bit thicker. Usually my favorite, I have to say, is to spin fine yarns. But so I really have to focus on not fine. Actually, I do spin this long draw. I had to do some pre-drafting. That always makes sense. So I spin like this. Feed. It's hard to mimic this, but whatever. Yeah, don't know what yardage. I would definitely say it's a worsted weight, and not a typical color for me, but for the Duke City mitts, fingerless mitts that I offer at the High Desert Studio Tour, I just try to have a nice variety of yarns that I use too, so there's something for every taste. Yes, love how this turned out. Didn't show you the bag that I used for the cotton socks. I mean, I call them cotton socks. It's a blend of cotton and superwash wool that's commercially produced specifically for summer socks. So I squeezed the project into this bag, one of mine, with this, one of my favorite fabrics. I don't have any more of this. Everybody who sees this loves it, and I loved it so much. It was a gift many years ago from my friend Doris. Yeah. So, and I pulled out, now I wonder, is that the same yarn? I thought I was out of this yarn, but maybe I grabbed it. I already went to my bin. I shouldn't call it bin. It's a box. The box with summer sock yarns. So, yep. And when I took this to Germany, of course, I had only one project in here. I mean, I had only worked on one of the socks. I didn't bring two. So we talked about spinning. We talked about other stuff, as we do. And now I wanted to show you, what the heck is this? Oh my goodness. Dropping my stitch markers. Oh, this is what I had left of the Moab shawl. I forgot that I had put it in the box. Yep, that worked out well. I won at Yarns Chicken. Kind of, not really, because in the end I had to not knit a whole section, but still with the part that I decided to knit, I did win at Yarn Chicken. Yeah, so yes. Remember when I told you my daughter wants a yellow cardigan? Maybe tomorrow she's going to want a pink one, or a blue one, or a green one. But you know how it is. I dyed up yellow. And I tried to fit the color that she wanted. She said she wants a buttery yellow, not a neon yellow. So this is Zia Wool's Velvet, the blend of baby alpaca silk. It's a 50 grams, so it's 150 grams that I have here. Then I thought I'm gonna hold it with this lace, which is also really, I think, divine. Don't you think? Isn't this pretty? It's a lace yarn that's 100%, I want to say, not superwash. I had only one of that. What did I write down here? Zia Wool's Lace Willow. It's 111 grams, and that's I don't think it's superwash. It's just 100% merino. Nice yardage. Over 1,000 yards. So I thought I was going to combine these two, and I started knitting, and I only had these crappy needles that are not pointy enough. And I bought a pattern, and my gauge was way off because I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I told you all this in the last podcast. Maybe I only planned to tell you all this in the last podcast. But I definitely will need to use larger needles, because what she had sent me a photo of a cardigan that she had seen somewhere, where she said, oh, this is so lovely. Can you make this for me? You know how it is. Mother, daughter, she thinks I can do anything, which, can I? I don't know. I try. So I'm gonna have to do some more swatching, because I thought I'm not gonna bring this to Germany and then have some kind of a fail and have schlepped all this yarn for nothing. So this is still to come. And I mean, she's coming home finally. Oh my God, this girl was gone too long. She was in Australia, and then in Bali, and now in the Philippines, and then she's going to visit Japan, and then she's going to be finally home on June 2nd. Can't wait. And her birthday is in September. So I'm not going to get this done for her homecoming, but it's going to be good to have her here. There's a few questions. The pattern that I had purchased was more like the pattern that I had purchased on Ravelry. I don't even remember what it was called, but it had a saddle shoulder and then set in sleeves. I mean, knitted, you know, right away, put in. But what I like to do is really a raglan. That's my thing. Then I can figure it out myself. But also I don't know what's important for her in terms of the front. The one that she had sent me the picture of just had a tie in the front. And I could actually really make that up. I mean, anything. I've done stuff like this in the past. So we'll see what happens. I have not, have I or have I not? Where the heck is that thing? I have started the Granny Stripes blanket. A Granny Stripes blanket, which I saw on another podcast and I thought I want. So I haven't worked on that, but I'm talking about it now. And I'm going to put in a picture here. I think I have a few pictures for you because I haven't brought it upstairs. And so let me rearrange here for a second. So the reason I'm mentioning this here is because I have come to my the end of the podcast where I wanted to talk to you about things that I brought home, things that have been gifted to me, among them yarn. And a lot of that yarn is really for the blanket because people have been either asking me, hey, do you want some yarn for this blanket? Can you use this? Or people have just made my day by sending me some nice yarns. I have also been surprised by a friend who has sent me some more of the beautiful handmade glass. So I will see how this goes because I did take a picture. These glass stitch markers that I love so much and I use them all the time. And then I also have been gifted by a friend who came to see me at a German flea market, and she gifted me this beautiful project bag. It's pretty big. I should have stuck the blanket in here. I don't know why I didn't. And 2 needle stoppers. These cute monkeys. Little monkeys. Yes, but let me show you the bin and then show you just a few things because I have a small bin for it's DK commercial sock yarn. Sorry. Eating fluff here. You're gonna laugh because this is the bin where I had to move everything, and I haven't even moved the stuff from the small bin into this bin. But if you have gifted me yarn, you're most likely German, but some of my German friends are watching the English podcast. So I wanted to thank you. You're so kind and so sweet and so thoughtful, and I appreciate you. Thank you. I have also gotten some random yarn gift from my friend Liana. Isn't this beautiful? Man, I love this so much. From a hand dyer. And I got this from Claudia, which is also, I think this is also a fingering, just a normal sock yarn from another German hand dyer. And then Steffi of Peacock Yarn sent me a message. Hey, can I send you some yarn? I'm like, no, you can't send me yarn. You're a hand dyer yourself. You offer your yarn so reasonably priced. You should go and check her out on Instagram. So I said, and then she's like, but I want to. And I said, well, if you really want to send me something, then check if you have DK weight commercial sock yarn leftovers. What does this crazy girl do? She sends me everything. She sent me this, which is one of her yarns. Isn't that gorgeous? With a stitch marker, like a cactus, that made me smile. And this, that's her logo. And this is so adorable. A mini sock blocker. Now I want to make a mini sock. Oh, that would be amazing for those Advent socks. I have to ask her if she has a lot of these. Yeah, and how many. Yeah, whatever. So there's a bunch of her yarns in here that her leftovers, but also, like, I did want to mention that she also sent me this. I hope you can see this. It's glittery, and the little glitter things are flowers. How adorable is that? Now I want to figure out what to make with this. Sometimes it can be very overwhelming to figure out something that you want to make. So yeah. And here also, like, what? A whole ball of yarn? Seriously? Then I have my friend Claudia, who, like, a giant box of leftovers, and not just leftovers for my blanket DK weight, but also because she said, because you make these beautiful multicolored sweaters. So all of this is fingering on top of everything else she sent me. Then my other Claudia, I call her because not everybody has two Claudias. My other Claudia sent me 3 balls of yarn. 2 of them are I gotta look. I think this, and this. That's what I'm gonna use for the blanket. But now I have 2. She sent me 3 balls of yarn. Where's the third? I don't know. Somewhere in here. I have a third one. 1 is normal and 2 are for the blanket, because they're 150 grams in 1 ball, which is really cool. But now I have, now I can crochet something into the blanket, and at the same time, I'm going to have plenty of yarn for a pair of fun socks. Thank you all so much. You're so incredibly generous and kind. Thank you. So that's all the new yarns, and I did go to the flea market, and that's the last thing that I do want to show you, because I found this. Alte Volkskunst Häkeln. And it's a book from, I don't even know how long ago. Oh, look at that. I didn't even see this. You can actually take out sheets. I looked through the whole book and didn't see that. Wow. It's old. Okay, it's from 91 and 81. Pretty much the same, right? I can't read that. No. It's from 84. The first edition came out in 84. And it's just really a lot of lace and like different variations, like smaller, wider, and whatnot, and also like filler things. Yeah, very, very cool book. Very happy that I found this. It was, and this is what I love about flea markets. This was in my hometown. I saw it, I was looking at it, and I'm like, my suitcase is full. This is heavy. Do I need this? Yes, I do, of course. And then I asked the lady, so what do you want? She says €3. I don't even try to haggle when the price is so great. Then I'm like, I wanted to give her, I think I had only a 20. So I'm giving her that. And she said, oh, sorry, I have no change. Do you not have do you have coins? And I said, I was looking and I said, only 2. And she said, yeah, give me those. That's fine. Right? Is that amazing or what? Yeah, that really made my day. So I did get some other German old knitting magazines from my friend Marita, who does the glass stitch markers, but I forgot those in Germany. They were right by the table where I'm sitting, and so I totally spaced out and I did not bring those. So next year, or I mean, eventually I'm hoping to record a podcast in Germany. I have long time ago, together with my mother when I had internet at the house, which I don't have right now. So yeah, also no time. We had a lot of work I mean, I did a little bit of arranging in that apartment that I own now, the top floor, and but I found a great teapot at that antique market where did I even say that I met Caro when she gifted me this? I don't think I did. She came to the antique market. That was so sweet. Yeah. Just for me, mainly. I mean, she liked to stroll over the antique market, but also to see me. That was super sweet. Yeah. What else? So I wanted to tell you about that flea market. I don't know. Now I lost my thought. It flew out of the window, which is right there. Yes, okay. And we have come to the end, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and I am looking forward to seeing you next time when hopefully it won't take me too long to make time to hang out with you again, because by then I have my daughter back home, and I will also have my son at home because his landlady canceled his lease like super short notice. Like, she says she wants to switch to short-term rentals, and I'm like, lady, really, you only figured that out a month before you throw him out of that condo after us paying the rent like on time or early every single month for the past 5 or 6 years. That's just really not courteous, I find. And I think you're probably gonna nod right there with me. Okay. But now I've really come to the end. It was so great to chat with you, and I hope you're all doing well and having something nice on your needles. Take care. Happy knitting. Bye.